So, in 6th grade, I was running cross country and hating every single minute of it. My grade school did not have an official cross country team. Instead, there was a citywide cross country running club, and their course was out by the old abandoned airport. And it seemed like all the other athletic kids were doing cross country runs, so why not just follow along? And while those other kids would grow up to seriously pursue cross country as a sport, I knew instantly that cross country running was not for me because it was too far. It was a mile. A mile was too far for me. There are two types of people in this world. There are the ones that can run outside, and there are the ones that stick with the ellipticals at the gym because they can fool their body into going just as far as the ones that are running outside, but they're staying in one place. I am that fool. My body is that dumb. But in 6th grade, I had gotten myself into an impossible situation. I hated cross country, but to drop out would subject me to 6th grade scorn and ridicule that I just wasn't strong enough to have it. And damned if I was going to let that happen. So, the last race of the year was a mile run competition, and it had a silly name like Spring Fling or Fall Chase. And they divided you up according to your grade, and they fired a starter pistol, and off you went for a mile. And scattered among you would be the older high school runners, and they didn't get too far out in front of us. They stepped to the middle of the pack. They weren't competing, their job was to be kind of like our pacer rabbit of sorts. They were there in case anybody needed little camper words of encouragement. So here I am, pitifully underweight because all I ate as a kid was like cereal, peanuts, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and Cheetos. And I'm running as fast as I can, simply so I can be done with it. Because it's the last race of the year, and next year when I hit 7th grade, I am not running cross country. I'm going to run regular track, where the distances are like maybe 100 meters. I might even try hurdles, but I will never ever again have to run a mile. And I happen to be in 1st place currently. The girl who had run previous mile run competitions was named Priscilla. No, that's a good name, right? Priscilla. She was pretty, popular, smart, and extremely nice to everyone in a way that no John Hughes movie would ever understand. And this was also going to be her last mile run competition, because when she hit 7th grade, it was cheerleader country all the way to high school graduation. There was no question about it. She was a bright, shining star, and everyone knew that this was going to be her destiny, that she would continue to be pretty, popular, smart, and extremely nice about it, while she picked up every single title that one could possibly have in high school: class representative at the student council, beauty court, homecoming queen, all that stuff. But right now, she's somewhere behind me on this mile course that I don't even want to be running in the first place. In previous mile runs that I didn't want to do, I never came close to placing in the top 10 because I am not a runner. I'm Amy the writer. I just won a 6th grade poetry contest. My entry began with "Time is a funny thing. It flies like birds, but without wings." 1st place, people. Oh yeah. I am Amy the writer. I am not Amy the runner. And yet here I am. I am pounding the dust with my shabby Nikes. I'm following the trail as it darts in and out of the woods with strange dips and turns, and everybody's behind me, which had never happened before. If I had started the race with "Yes, let's get this over with," I am now fueled by "Shit, I am in front." I cannot be this far in front and not stay there. It will be embarrassing to let up, even a little bit. It will be mortifying if Priscilla blows by me. Never mind the fact that she's supposed to, and everyone's expecting her to. I have been running this race for 3 minutes now, and I've been in front the entire time. And while nobody knows that I'm only running this fast to put this whole cross-country nonsense behind me once and for all, the fact that I am in front when by all accounts I shouldn't be, means I have to stay there. I have to risk ridicule from my peers about how the hell did I think I could snatch the victory away from Priscilla that was supposed to be hers practically by birthright. So that's when I notice a pacer rabbit coming up next to me. He's a high schooler. Running a mile is like an appetizer for a guy like him. He's probably going to do a 10K later on this afternoon for a main course or something. "You're doing great," says Pacer Rabbit as he lopes along. 2 more seconds, and he'll be ahead of me, and I can chase the back of his shirt for the rest of the course. But as I'm huffing and puffing, I manage to get these words out. Will you run with me? Sure I will, Pacer Rabbit says, and slows his pace to match mine. And for the next 3.5 minutes, he runs with me. There's not a lot of conversation. I remember as we came up around the tricky last bend, the one that looked like it would only take 15 seconds to go around, but actually really took 1.5 minutes. He said, I predict victory for you. To which I wheezed, don't jinx it. All Pacer Rabbits had to drop back at that last 100-meter thoroughfare and let the kids that were competing do that potter on their own. So as we came up on that stretch, I thanked my Pacer Rabbit for running as far as he did with me. And he smiled and said, no problem. So here I am, thundering down the last 100 yards, and the crowds are cheering, and I sense Priscilla practically at my elbow, at the edge of my peripheral vision, and now I'm really running. Dear God, help me, please bring that fucking finish line closer, get me out of this fight. Running so fast that everything blurs and I can't see anything. Not until a race official grabs me around the waist to stop me and hold me upright as I wheeze for breath. My face, my lungs, my feet are on fire. And to this day, I don't remember what Pacer Rabbit looked like. I never saw him again. He didn't come up to me after the race was over. But I know that he was there. And when I told this story to some people, they said, wow, he must have been an angel. Which, even though I'm not that great of a long-distance runner who needs a divine intervention, and yet, I don't mind using the memory to illustrate what I think my walk with God is like. It's not that cheese-tastic footprints in the sand picture. You guys know that one? The one, God, why are there times I only see one set of footprints in the sand? My child, that is one I carry. No. My walk with God is totally me in the 6th grade, scared out of my mind, running for my life, pounding down the dust in a race that I didn't want to be on in the first place. But I've got a Pacer Rabbit who slowed down to run with me when I asked him to. And that makes me feel better. It would make me feel better even if I hadn't won. But